President Obama's stimulus package is intended to shore up the United States economy, but also its psyche, the American dream itself. But what if we euthanize it? The American dream, that is. At least one media darling has taken it a step further and suggested that the United States itself will no longer exist by the year 2010. Is that change we can believe in? I'm Dennis Trainor, you're watching The Uptake. Okay, to be fair, the media darling in question is the Russian academic Igor Panarin. And the ideas from a media darling in Russia, a place where the state has more control over who becomes a darling and who becomes a lonely man wandering Siberia muttering to himself, can and should be taken with all appropriate grains of salt added. Nevertheless, Panarin has postulated and created visual aids for our further understanding the unthinkable. Panarin's map is born of his theory that economic decline, among other factors, will bring on a civil war in the United States, the end result of which will be the breakup of the American empire. Sarah Palin will actually be able to see Russia from her front porch, as Alaska will revert to Russia, Hawaii goes to China, and the continental United States splits into 4 smaller countries. But what if Panarin's map did not forecast the topography of a post-Civil War American destruction, but was a snapshot of a world after a mercy killing of sorts? In other words, what if we took it upon ourselves and preemptively broke up the US? Peacefully. Consider this. Our politics are an outgrowth of what can be called our nation's soul. The American dream. And the American dream, in so much as it can be defined as a rags to riches story, has a dark underbelly. A murderous albatross in the form of a sense of entitlement that we can no longer afford. An escalating culture of competition that has backed us into a corner, the only escape from which seems to be more competition, more violence, borrowing from more Peters to pay more Pauls, more white-collar criminals with corner offices in Manhattan acting above the heads and behind the backs of our elected officials. And for what? So we can remain blithely ignorant of the connection between the blood-soaked deserts of the Middle East and our beloved SUVs and McMansions and kitchens that look like a photo spread for Martha Stewart living? I humbly submit to you the idea that we should euthanize it. The American dream, that is. Yes, I know, you'll paint me red, but ask yourself, what if change you believe in comes in the form of the United States splitting into several smaller countries and actually improving the quality of life for its citizens? For those of you interested, the United States does not even crack the top 10 in the quality of life index. The top 3 include Canada, Switzerland, and Norway. Could my home in 2010, let's borrow Panarin's idea and call it Atlantic America, be more like Norway? And if so, would the world be a better place for it? We wouldn't be a terribly rich country. Atlantic America wouldn't be able to afford to invade sovereign nations or anything like that. But perhaps like the rest of the world, all of our citizens would have health care. We might even crack the top 10 on that quality of life index. If, and I know it's a big if that description is something that would become of Panarin's map of the United States in 2010, then that is change that I can believe in.